Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today, I want to share a chilling murder case where the discovery of the perpetrator and the delivery of justice might never have happened without a fortunate twist of fate. This is the case of Lauren Giddings, a story worth knowing, if only as a cautionary tale. If you'd like to hear the details, stay tuned. Let's start by traveling to Macon, Georgia in 2011. Lauren Teresa Giddings lived there at the time. She was born on April 18, 1984, in Maryland. Her parents, Karen and William Giddings, raised Lauren alongside her two younger sisters, Caitlin and Sarah. Lauren was the first in her family to pursue higher education. She decided to study law at Mercer University, aiming to become a defense attorney. By June 2011, she was preparing to graduate and take the bar exam. Friends described Lauren as a social butterfly, confident, outgoing, and quick to form connections. She had a great sense of humour and loved animals. She owned a beige Pekingese named Butterbean and was physically active, playing softball and running regularly. Before diving into weeks of intense study for the bar exam, Lauren visited her family in Maryland and attended the wedding of one of her younger sisters. After returning to Georgia on June 24th, the 27-year-old decided to enjoy one last night out with friends before starting her rigorous preparations. Lauren and her friends began the evening bar hopping and later gathered at the apartment of a friend named Ashley. During the gathering, Lauren made an unexpected confession that surprised her friends. She said she felt like she had a stalker. Lauren explained that it wasn't just a vague feeling of being watched in public. She suspected someone had been inside her apartment while she was away. Although nothing valuable ever went missing, she often noticed things weren't where she had left them. Despite this unsettling revelation, Lauren spoke about it in such a calm and even joking tone that her friends didn't take it too seriously. As the party wound down, most guests left for home, but a few stayed the night, including Lauren. At the time, Lauren was dating a 48-year-old attorney named David Van Diver, whom she had met during an internship at his law firm. Despite their significant age gap, friends thought they were a great match and seemed happy together. David wasn't at the party that night, but Lauren's ex-boyfriend Joe was. Lauren spent the night in the same room as Joe, though nothing happened between them. By then, they reportedly viewed each other as nothing more than friends. The next morning, Lauren, 27, left Ashley's apartment, and for the following days, no one heard from her. Initially, neither her friends nor her family were alarmed. Lauren was known for her independence, and everyone assumed she was busy preparing for her bar exam. Lauren herself had mentioned she wouldn't have much time for socializing or even phone calls. However, after 4 days with no contact at all, her parents began to worry that something might have happened. They started reaching out to Lauren's friends and eventually contacted Ashley, the friend whose apartment Lauren had stayed at the night before her disappearance. Ashley had already been wondering if Lauren was okay, and the call from Lauren's parents only deepened her concerns. Ashley and her boyfriend decided to check on Lauren at her apartment. When they arrived at Lauren's apartment complex, they noticed her car was still parked there. However, knocking on the door and ringing the bell yielded no response. Since Ashley had a spare key, they let themselves in. The apartment appeared neat and orderly, with no signs of a break-in, struggle, or anything that might indicate foul play. But something seemed unusual. Lauren had been planning to move in with her boyfriend, David, the very next day, yet there were no signs she had started packing, a stark contrast to her typically organized nature. After waiting in vain for Lauren to return, Ashley and her boyfriend decided to inform Lauren's parents. Unwilling to lose more time, her parents reported her missing to the police on June 29, 2011. When police searched Lauren's apartment, they noted that all her essential personal belongings were still there. If she'd gone out, even just to class or the store, she would have taken her wallet and phone. This raised investigators' suspicions, as the simplest explanation, that she had left voluntarily, seemed increasingly unlikely. Officers began questioning Lauren's neighbours, but no one had seen or heard anything unusual. While neighbours confirmed she hadn't been seen for days, they couldn't offer any useful leads. One of Lauren's neighbours, Stephen McDaniel, who had been a classmate at Mercer, was among those questioned. The 26-year-old suggested that Lauren, who often went jogging, might have been abducted during one of her runs. This theory seemed plausible, especially since Lauren hadn't taken her phone or purse. Police also interviewed Lauren's friends from the party, her boyfriend David, and her ex-boyfriend Joe. Joe, who was the last known person to see Lauren, became a person of interest. He admitted to seeing her leave Ashley's apartment on the morning of June 25th. Joe was considered a suspect, not just because he was the last person to see her, but also because he might have had a motive. There was speculation he resented Lauren for ending their relationship to be with David. However, part of Joe's account was verified. Lauren had gone to a pool that day and had been seen alive and well at several other locations afterward. David, Lauren's boyfriend, had been out of town for several days when she disappeared. He told police he hadn't spoken to her during that time, which might seem strange to some, but their relationship was described as one where frequent communication wasn't typical. David also mentioned that on the day Lauren disappeared, she had emailed him. In her email, Lauren recounted an awkward conversation with a friend who had questioned her relationship with David. More disturbingly, she also mentioned having a growing feeling that someone had been inside her apartment while she was away. A reward of $12,000 was announced for any information leading to Lauren's discovery, but no helpful witnesses came forward. While the search for Lauren Giddings continued, investigators decided to re-examine her apartment. During this inspection, officers detected a foul smell coming from outside. Following the odour, they reached the dumpsters near her apartment complex. Though they hoped for the best, they feared the worst. Inside one of the dumpsters, they found a large trash bag. Upon opening it, they discovered the torso of a woman. The other body parts, including the head and limbs, were missing. The torso belonged to a white woman who was wearing only pink running shorts. The tragic realization hit. Lauren Giddings had been brutally murdered, and her killer had attempted to dispose of her body by dismembering it and hiding the remains in the dumpster. Efforts to locate the missing body parts were unsuccessful. Unfortunately, the trash collection had taken place that day, and investigators were fortunate to have found even this bag before it was removed. Initially, law enforcement kept the discovery of the remains confidential while they worked to confirm their identity through DNA testing. However, news of the discovery leaked to the media and spread rapidly. Lauren's parents learned about their daughter's death in the most devastating way, from extended family members who had seen the news on TV. Lauren's father requested to see his daughter's remains to identify her personally, but investigators advised against it, explaining that the body's condition would make identification impossible and would only add to his pain. DNA testing ultimately confirmed that the torso belonged to Lauren Giddings. The news shook the quiet community, making headlines as one of the most horrific crimes the area had ever seen. Journalists swarmed the apartment complex, interviewing neighbours and residents. Among those approached by reporters was Stephen McDaniel, Lauren's neighbour and former law school classmate. When asked about Lauren's disappearance, McDaniel repeated his theory that she might have been abducted while jogging. He claimed not to know anything about her whereabouts. When a journalist mentioned that Lauren's remains had been found, McDaniel's demeanour changed dramatically. He froze, staring blankly ahead, seemingly in shock. After a few moments, he apologised, stepped away from the interview, and sat down on the grass. McDaniel's reaction drew suspicion. He appeared deeply distressed, shaking and unable to form coherent sentences. He eventually broke into tears and struggled to explain his behaviour, stating only that he couldn't understand how someone could commit such a horrific act.
And No one's heard from her since.
Did you see her hang out with anyone at the time, anything like that?
No one has seen her since Saturday. I haven't seen anything. I've always heard noise outside, but it's just people walking by pretty much.
And she just recently graduated from Mercer?
Yeah, she and I were both JD students. We graduated back in May.
What kind of person was she? I mean, what did you see?
She's as nice as can be. Very personable, very much a people person.
Do you know any enemies she might have had, somebody that might want to hurt her?
No, we don't know where she is. The only thing we can think is that maybe she went out running and someone snatched her. Because we went over. One of her friends had a key. We went inside and tried to see if there was anything amiss, but she had a door jamb that was sitting right by it, so there was no sign that anyone broke in. The door was locked when everyone got here. We just don't know where she is.
What about in the parking lot area? I know they've been doing a lot of. I think that's where they have recovered the body or whatever they recovered from there.
Body.
Had you seen anything there? Had you seen anything there? We don't know if this is the same person. You know what I mean? Like, they took out a body there earlier. We don't know if it's the same person or not. So that's why we're trying to ask people if they know who lived there. Are you okay, sir?
I think I need to sit down.
Okay. Studying for the bar?
Yeah, no one had seen her since Saturday because there's not a whole lot of interaction unless we're doing classes.
Right.
And she was doing the online version of it.
You all studied together, though?
We were in. There's two different people there's two companies that provide it. Kaplan provides it and Barbary provides it. I signed up with Barbary and I've been doing the lectures that they have in the mornings. She was doing the Kaplan online, so I hardly ever saw her. I would see her go out running, but
What time would she go out running?
I don't even know when.
Was it at night or morning?
I saw her midday a couple weeks ago. That was the last time I saw her, was coming back from the bar prep on the main campus because we got moved over there for a week or two.
But she normally would run. That was the routine that she had.
She ran all the time. She had a group that she would go running with. I don't know anyone that would want to hurt her. She was as nice a person as there is.
Was she moving soon? Did you know anything about her?
Yeah. She was going to be moving out today. She was supposed to move out today because someone else was going to be moving into her apartment, a new law student.
Do you know if she was planning? Where is she from? Is she from Maryland?
Yeah, she's from up in Maryland.
Can I just put this on you so we can hear you? Is that all right?
Okay.
I'm so sorry. And you can just hold on here. Thank you.
Yeah, she's from Maryland.
Yeah, she was from up in Maryland. All her family was there, as far as I know. She.
What's going on in your mind right now? What are you thinking?
Why would anyone do this?
She didn't hear anything.
No.
Didn't see anybody.
I just heard something. Maybe I could have helped.
You're okay, don't worry. Do you want to sit down for a second? Get something to drink?
Do you know if a bunch of her friends are getting together or anything?
That's how I found out that she was missing. A bunch of her friends came over yesterday night around midnight, and they hadn't seen her since Saturday, so they were trying to find out where she was.
So they were knocking on neighbors' doors and stuff?
No, they went in. They had a key to her apartment, and they checked around, didn't see anything out of place. It was locked when everyone got there.
That was midnight?
Yeah, around midnight, and then we went over to law school to see if maybe she was over in the library studying or something. And we looked up in the study rooms on the 3rd floor, and there was no one there. And we came back, we looked around, and just trying to find anything to figure out where she was.
She doesn't have any family in Georgia?
I don't know. As far as I know, all of her family is in Maryland.
Have you met her family before?
There was one time that I met them. They came down first year. She had a little dog, a little brown dog, that she would exercise out in front of the law school, and it got hit as she was coming across the road. I heard the car hit it and ran out, and she was there crying, and thankfully there was someone who came along who knew a vet or something, and they helped that, and her family came down I think a couple weeks after that or something. I met them just briefly.
Right.
But
you have a boyfriend or
we've been trying to figure out. She has a boyfriend up in Atlanta, but someone called him, and he hadn't heard from her. No one could figure out where she was.
Who was the last person to be with her? You said that somebody had seen her on Saturday?
Yeah, she went over to a couple friends' house, Garen Mueller and Joe Cairns. They live over on Walnut, and they said that she was over there in the morning, and then that was the last time that anyone we've been able to find out from had seen her.
She hadn't mentioned what she was going to do that day or anything?
Joe, he got onto her computer last night to see if she had said anything. She'd sent an email out to some people that afternoon talking about like going out to eat or something. And the last thing that there was an email that she sent out after 10 that night where she sent to, I think it was someone in Atlanta, a friend of hers in Atlanta, and she said that she was afraid in her apartment that she thought someone had tried to break in on Thursday night, and she was afraid to stay in there. But
where did you hear that from Joe?
He pulled it up, and we read it off the screen.
And she had said that to a friend in Atlanta?
Yeah, I can't remember his name, but...
And you hadn't heard anything on Thursday night?
No.
She never came to you to tell you anything?
No, if she had, I could have done something. I could have lent her a handgun. I've got a little handgun that I have for defense. And
Or she could have slept over or something.
yeah, something. If she was afraid in her apartment, then get her out of there.
Because they tried to break in on Thursday.
That's what she said in the email. She thought that someone had tried to break into her apartment. She said, like, Macon hoodlums tried to break into my apartment on Thursday night.
Is that her car parked there? The Chevy?
No.
Small car?
No, I think that's the detective's car, Detective
her car's
Patterson.
not even there?
No, it was here earlier, and they towed it. It'd been there for days, and then they towed it to, I guess, look through, see if there was... Yeah.
How did you find out that something was wrong with the police here? Was it like when you walked up a little while ago, or...?
No, the police were called last night, and they came and they looked around. They didn't see anything. They went in, we looked around the place. No sign of a struggle, no sign that anyone had broken in, just nothing. Just she was gone. All of her stuff was there, her ID was there, her wallet was there, but she was just gone.
Did you just come home and see the police here?
No, I was here this morning. I couldn't hardly sleep. I was up until early hours, and then I got home and I just collapsed. And then this morning they knocked on my door. They were looking around trying to find anything, and a few of the other friends, Burpee and Garen and Ashley, they were here. They were here last night, and they'd come back this morning. I just went out and talked with them, and then they moved us all over to the side, and they bussed us all down to the department and kept us there until I got back just a little while ago. And yeah, they took statements trying to find out if anyone had seen anything, if anyone had heard anything, when the last time anyone saw it was.
No, they haven't confirmed, at least not with us, that it was Lauren that they found. Are you holding out any hope right now?
I hope, but if they found it on the property somewhere.
You hadn't heard anything about a body until you were talking to us earlier?
No. As far as any of us knew, they were still trying to just find her. I mean, we got an email this morning from some people that live on the other side of Kroger, on the other side of the river, that they had seen her in the past running in that area. We thought maybe someone had snatched her over there, or maybe she got hurt or something.
The police, already suspicious of McDaniel, brought him in for formal questioning. His behaviour at the station was unusual. He was quiet, motionless, and answered questions with short, vague responses like, "I don't know." Detectives noticed scratches on McDaniel's face and abdomen. When questioned, he claimed they were self-inflicted. While McDaniel was in custody, officers searched his apartment. They found various suspicious items, including different types of condoms. When asked about them, McDaniel admitted they were stolen during recent burglaries. This confession raised major red flags for investigators. McDaniel had seemingly incriminated himself, admitting not only to the thefts, but also to breaking into multiple apartments. He was arrested on charges of burglary and detained while investigators dug deeper into his past and potential involvement in Lauren's murder. McDaniel's background revealed a seemingly ordinary life. Born on September 20th, 1985, he grew up in a religious and loving family. After high school, he attended Mercer University, where he showed academic promise but lacked the motivation and discipline to reach his potential. Stephen dedicated a lot of energy to his passions, which included reading, writing Star Wars fan fiction, playing zombie-themed games, and delving into unsettling topics, such as methods of committing the perfect crime. Stephen was shy, had difficulty making friends, and was described by other students as a loner. He spent most of his free time alone in his room, playing video games. His 26-year-old roommates also noted his poor personal hygiene. It was discovered that Stephen had been Lauren's neighbour for 3 years and had developed a crush on her during that time. He made several attempts to ask her out, but the 27-year-old always refused. Even if Lauren had been interested in Stephen, she already had a boyfriend at the time. Stephen's infatuation eventually turned into an unhealthy obsession, and he began stalking her. He took covert photos and videos of her, proving that Lauren was not imagining things when she felt watched or suspected someone had been in her apartment during her absence. It was Stephen. In September 2008, Lauren even mentioned him in an email to her partner. She wrote that she had just run into her strange neighbour and that he gave her an angry look. She added, in jest, "He wants to get me." Little did she know that 3 years later, her words would prove to be prophetic. Stephen had become the prime suspect in Lauren's case, leading investigators to conduct a more thorough search of his apartment. They found a package for a hacksaw, a collection of knives and swords, footage taken from outside Lauren's apartment window, and a pair of women's underwear stained with blood. DNA analysis confirmed that the blood belonged to Lauren. Investigators also found 2 sets of keys that didn't match the locks in Stephen's apartment. One set opened all the main gates in the complex, and the other fit the door to Lauren's apartment. The murder and subsequent events took place in Lauren's bathroom. At first glance, there were no visible bloodstains, but UV light revealed that significant amounts of blood had been superficially cleaned. Further investigation uncovered the murder weapon, a blood-stained hacksaw identical to the one for which Stephen had the packaging in his apartment. The evidence was overwhelming, and on August 4th, 2011, Stephen was formally charged with first-degree murder. The evidence against him continued to mount. Investigators found that Stephen's laptop contained a disturbing history of violent pornography, including videos involving minors. Experts discovered that while watching these videos, Stephen had also been looking at photos of Lauren stored on a USB drive he had stolen from her apartment. Stephen knew he couldn't argue his way out of the situation, and his defense team negotiated a plea deal. In exchange for avoiding the death penalty and additional charges for possessing videos involving minors, Stephen agreed to plead guilty and provide a detailed account of the events of that tragic night. Stephen revealed that around 4:30 a.m. he entered Lauren's apartment using a key he had. Lauren was asleep at the time, and he stood by her bed, watching her for an extended period. When he tried to move closer, the sound of his steps woke her up. Lauren saw a masked man standing by her bed. Instead of panicking, she firmly demanded he leave immediately. Stephen had no intention of leaving. He attacked Lauren, attempting to strangle her. During the struggle, his mask slipped off, and Lauren recognized him. She called him by name and told him to stop, but Stephen only tightened his grip. He continued strangling her for 15 minutes until he was certain she was dead. Stephen then began executing the next phase of his plan. Initially uncertain about his next steps, he left Lauren in the bathtub and went to purchase a hacksaw. He later dismembered her body, placing her arms, legs, and head in a dumpster near the university. He disposed of her torso in another dumpster within the apartment complex. Stephen got rid of his mask, gloves, and bloodied clothing by cutting them into small pieces and flushing them down the toilet. During the trial, a forum post anonymously authored by Stephen was presented as evidence. The post described a fantasy involving a sexy neighbour. In the scenario, he gave her a drink that caused her to lose consciousness, after which he intended to have his first sexual experience. The fantasy continued with the overdose accidentally killing her, leading to him dismembering her body to cover up the crime. The chilling similarities between the post and Lauren's murder only reinforced the case against Stephen. In 2014, Stephen received a life sentence without the possibility of parole until at least 2041. In 2018, he unsuccessfully appealed his conviction, seeking a retrial. One of the most tragic aspects of this case is that Stephen likely targeted Lauren because she was one of the few people who had been kind to him. Despite declining his invitations for a date, her friendly demeanour may have led him to believe that her rejection was solely due to her having a boyfriend and that he might still have a chance with her otherwise. Apart from this, it's difficult to determine a clear motive. From what is known, Lauren was not sexually assaulted, so that most likely explanation can be ruled out. What remains is the pure evil and twisted mind of Stephen, and with that, this horrifying case comes to an end. It's so shocking that it's hard to summarise in just a few sentences. As always, the comments section is open for you to share your thoughts about this story. Thank you so much for watching, and see you again soon. Take care. At the end, I will include selected parts from Stephen's interrogation.
I need to know about this girl right here. You know her?
Yes,
Who is that?
Lauren Giddings.
Does she live next door to you?
Yes,
When's the last time you seen her?
2 or 3 weeks ago.
Okay. Was you friends with Lauren?
Yes,
Look at me when you talk to me, son. Okay? Was you friends with her?
yes,
Close friends?
we were good.
I mean, y'all were friends, right? Both of y'all
Yes.
were law students. You're studying to be an attorney, right?
Yes.
What kind of law do you want to go into? Criminal law?
Yes,
Civil? Is that what you want to do for a living?
yes,
Okay. Are you almost finished?
yes,
Okay. So you don't have too much more to do, right?
no,
Alright. Are you going to stay here in Macon?
I don't know.
Did you used to work at the district attorney's office in Macon?
Yes.
Was you on the prosecutor side or the defense side?
Prosecutor.
So you were on our side.
Yes.
Right. You never worked on the other side?
No.
Did you like it when you were down there?
Yes.
Got along with everybody?
Yes.
Okay. And you've lived next to Lauren for a long time?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know where she's at tonight?
No.
Hmm?
No.
Have you ever seen her with that dress on?
No.
You have no idea where she's at?
No.
Okay. Look. Just tell me what happened, brother.
I don't know.
Well, where's she at? I'm asking you for your help. I'm a detective, and I'm asking you for your help. Okay? I'm asking you for help. Can you help me?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? You can't help a friend out?
I don't know what you need.
I need to know where Lauren's at.
I don't know.
When's the last time you seen her?
2 or 3 weeks ago.
Have you ever seen anybody over her house the last couple nights?
No.
Okay. If you knew where she was, would you tell me?
Yes.
What do you think happened to her?
I don't know.
Tell them. Because you're all over the news. You sure stood out there and ran your mouth to the news media. But now you're going to get out here. Well, why'd you tell the media everything? Do you need to see what you told the media today? It was on the 11 o'clock news. Well, I'm asking you. Tell me. I want to know.
I don't know where she is.
That ain't what you told the media. You didn't stand in front of that camera and say, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Lauren's missing. This pretty little girl right here, your neighbor, she's missing.
I know.
You went looking for her last night.
Yes.
Did you hurt Lauren?
No.
Stephen, did you hurt Lauren?
No.
I know this is hard for you to tell it, but it's weighing on you right now, ain't it, Stephen?
I didn't do it.
But I know you can probably help me with who did. What happened to Lauren?
I don't
Yeah.
know.
You like her, don't you?
She's my friend.
Did you ever think about having sex with her?
No.
You never tried to talk to her on a dating level?
No.
Let me go talk. They got his grandfather. Let me go talk and make sure that he owns another car. Because he's telling us he doesn't.
You knew that there was blood in that apartment.
No.
Yes, you did, Stephen. Yes, you did. There's blood in your apartment, Stephen. That's right. There's blood in your apartment. Stephen, this is hard, buddy. I know this is hard. And I can tell it's on you. You want to let it go. There's blood in your apartment, Stephen. You didn't get it all up. It didn't all come off. You scrubbed and you wiped. But we can tell that. Don't you wipe CSI? Yeah, we know it. Stephen, why is there blood in your bathroom?
I don't know.
Yes, you do know. Why, Stephen?
I don't know.
Has anybody else been in your bathroom?
The police were in there.
Other than the police? Who else has been in there?
No one that I know.
No one. And you recently cleaned your bathroom, didn't you?
No.
How long ago?
I don't remember.
A couple days ago?
No.
Over the weekend?
No.
No, you don't know.
I don't remember cleaning it.
Do you use drugs?
No.
You ever use acid?
No.
Are you on medication?
No.
Process, because I know you're not a monster, man. I know you're not a bad guy. You're just a hard-working student trying to pass a bar exam, ain't you? You ain't got a lot of support from your family, do you?
Yes.
You do? A lot of people can't say that. And the fact that you do have support from your family should make things easier, because your family wants to feel like they've raised somebody that tells the truth and is honest, right?
Yes.
Did you hurt that girl, Stephen?
No.
Have you ever hurt anyone, Stephen?
No. No.
You told me that if you were working the case, you would think somebody would take her when she was running. Why would you say that?
When we looked in her apartment, there was no sign it was broken into.
Okay, so you're figuring somebody might have took her while she was out running?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying? Did you see her go running this weekend at all?
No.
Well, that would help if you did. What time does she normally run? At night or daytime? Can you at least tell me that?
I don't know.
But did she like to run in the early morning or the late night?
The last time I saw her was midday.
Like noonish?
Yes.
Okay.
She was going running when I was coming back from bar prep.
Has that been a while?
2 or 3 weeks.
Okay. She speak to you?
No.
You just saw her out running?
I was in my car.
Well, did you see her when you were like pulling in the parking lot, or you just saw her running down the road? Was she outside her apartment getting ready to go run, or was she already running at the time you saw her?
Already running.
Okay. She was running by herself?
Yes.
She didn't have her dog with her, did she?
No.
Did you get along with everybody when you worked down at the district attorney's office?
Yes.
No problems?
No.
Did you like doing what you used to do down there, or what?
Yes.
Who did you work for? I mean, who was did you help out everybody, or were you assigned to just a certain person?
Mainly Jonathan Adams.
You know what's crazy? I was talking to people that he works with and everything. They talk about how he's always expresses himself.
But he don't know.
He's very talkative. Stephen, they say you're so talkative, buddy, that you always so friendly. You stop in and say hello, and you talk. Why is it that you're acting so short with us tonight? If you have all this character and personality about you, why is it that everything that we get from you is yes, no, or I don't know?
I don't know.
Well, you sure were talking to the media tonight, weren't you?
They asked what happened.
Yeah, that's what we're asking you. What happened? What'd you tell them?
I told them
You
what
didn't-
I knew.
That you didn't know. Do you drink at all? Do you drink beer?
No.
Well, at least I gotta know stuff I don't know.
Stephen. You know, are y'all close friends? Are y'all just acquaintances? Y'all study? I mean, how good of friends are y'all?
We're friends.
Are y'all really good friends?
I don't know.
You don't know? How do you not know if you're not a really good friend? Let me ask you this. Maybe you're saying that because you don't know how she feels about you. How do you feel about her? Do you consider her a really good friend?
She's a friend.
But not a really good friend?
I don't know.
You don't know? How do you not know?
I don't know what you mean by really good.
Are y'all really close?
No.
No, you're not?
No.
So you never told her any of your personal business?
No.
She ever tell you any of hers?
No.
You ever see her upset?
No.
She was always a happy person, wasn't she?
Yes.
Why are you acting like this, Stephen? You see how I'm able to talk in complete sentences? Like we're having a conversation, but the only thing you're bringing to the table is a yes, no, or I don't know. Why is that, Stephen?
I don't understand.
know. You don't understand. Would you tell me if you did?
Yes.
Have you lied to me at all in this interview?
No.
Yes, you have, Stephen. Yes, you have. When you say you don't know when the last time you cleaned your bathroom is, that's a lie. When you say you don't know the last time you saw her coming in and out of her apartment, or you don't notice whether or not she comes in and out, that's another lie. Your door's only a few feet from hers. You've told some lies in this interview, Stephen. Without a doubt. When was the last time you did laundry?
A few weeks ago.
You ain't washed clothes in a few weeks?
Yeah.
Why?
I have a lot of clothes.
No, you don't. That's another lie. That's right. That's 3 lies, Stephen. You don't have a lot of clothes.
Yes, I do.
Nope. You got enough underwear to last you 3 weeks?
Yes.
Do you wear the same pair of underwear more than one day?
Yes.
Why?
Because it's still clean enough to wear.
Stephen, I appreciate you coming down here today and talking to us, okay? I appreciate you cooperating with us and helping us along. But you've lied to me about at least 3 things in this interview. And people don't lie unless they got something to hide. Why would you lie to me, Stephen?
I didn't lie.
Sure you did. You said you don't even notice when she comes in and out of her apartment. That's a lie, Stephen.
I said I didn't remember the last time.
Have you ever watched her go in her apartment?
No.
You've never... How long y'all been neighbors?
3 years.
3 years, and you've never watched her walk through her front door?
Yes.
5 seconds, I said, you ever watched her walk into her apartment? You said no. So I'm going to ask you again, have you ever watched her walk into her apartment?
Yes.
When was the last time?
A long time ago.
How long?
Before graduation.
It's been that long. And you graduated when?
In May.
Beginning of May, end of May?
The middle.
And you hadn't seen her walk in her apartment since?
No.
Did you ever help her carry up groceries and stuff like that?
No.
Never.
No.
You ever help her carry her laundry?
No.
She's never needed your help with anything?
She asked for help with the computer.
You ever offer help with her for anything, carrying stuff for her, anything like that?
Yes.
Like what, Stephen?
When she was moving out during the first summer.
What did you do?
She needed help moving stuff to her car.
And you helped her?
Yes.
So you went in and out of her apartment moving stuff?
Yes.
How long did you help her?
A few minutes.
That's it?
Yes.
Do you realize how you're talking right now? Does it not feel weird to you?
No.
Would you say that this is how you talk all the time?
I don't understand.
You're just not expressing yourself at all. Everything's with you is yes, no, I don't remember, I don't understand. You can't help me out with anything. There's nothing you can tell me to help me about this beautiful girl right here, Stephen. That was your friend. Nothing. You gonna let things go down like this?
I don't know what you want.
I want the truth, Stephen.
I don't know where she is.
Let me ask you this. I truly believe you don't know where she is right now. Where was she yesterday?
I don't know.
Liar. That's right. You're lying.